I had to take a fast trip to the supermarket. So mystically, I felt a strange urge to take a piss. I figured I was in trouble when the lights went off. When I returned to the store, I found that the customers who had been shopping with me had left. I was about to make my way to the employees' room when I heard voices. How did human meat get here?
I had to make a fast trip to the supermarket because it was late and I needed groceries. I wasn't planning on taking that long, or so I thought. All customers, please be aware that the store will be closing in 10 minutes. That should give me enough time to get to the checkout area, I reasoned. But, out of nowhere, I felt compelled to take a piss. I quickly walked to the public restroom. It wouldn't take long at all. When I returned to the store, I found that the customers who had been shopping with me had left. There was an eerie silence in the aisles. I walked over to my cart with caution and started walking around. "How?" I said to myself in hushed tones. It couldn't have been more than 10 minutes. There's no way. I yelled. "I'm still here!" I shouted. But no one responded. I left the cart and walked to the exit. The door was shut. There were a few dim lights left. Enough for me to see my destination. I did, however, use the flashlight on my phone to look around. When I was a boy, I always fantasized about doing something like this. Being locked inside a store overnight, all the food to myself. But now that I'm really here, all I want to do is get out. It's fucking terrifying. I was about to make my way to the employees' room when I heard voices. "What the hell are you doing here, kid?" "It's time to leave." I heard faint crying. "I lost my mommy," the boy whispered. "I don't know where she went." I was about to approach them when the man said, "Here, come to my kitchen, and we'll find your mommy." The supermarket has a kitchen, where the meat is procured and prepared so that it is fresh when a customer buys it. I cautiously and slowly followed behind the man and the boy as they crossed over to the kitchen. I waited outside the door while they both went inside. To listen, I pushed my ear against it. "Your mother will be here in no time," the man said. The child exclaimed with delight. And that's when I heard it. The sounds of meat. The sounds of bones crunching. The sounds of something hitting the floor. I froze in terror. I couldn't even blink because I was so surprised. As he kept chopping and crunching his way through bones, the man chuckled to himself. I wanted to scream, run away, and call for help right then and there, but I didn't want to end up like the child. And I didn't want to stay until the man was done and exited. I stood up slowly and hurriedly to the employee's room. Maybe I'll be able to find a key here. Or a phone. Anything to get me out of this quagmire. That's when I noticed it. A tiny window. Is it even possible for me to get through there? I found a stool and stood on it while pushing the window open. I'm not sure how long it took, but it was probably a long time before it even opened. It took me much longer to push my body through the opening. I ran as I finally forced my whole body out. I ran the fastest I've ever run. I ran all the way back to my house. It was already early morning when I arrived home. In my mind, I repeated everything. The boy, the guy, anything, even the vibrations. I sat down on my sofa, slumped. I told myself, I need to calm down. I switched on the television. Maybe I could watch some cartoons to help me settle down. I pondered. I was browsing the channels when I heard Lost Child and quickly returned to that channel. That's right, John. Rob Mark, a local teen, has been reported missing. He got away from his mother at Goodwill's store, according to his mother. On the day of his disappearance, he was wearing a blue shirt and black jeans, according to his mother. I turned off the television. So all was true. It was the boy who had been reported missing. I couldn't keep on like this. I can't keep living with this shame indefinitely. And I did something I never planned to do. I returned to that particular store. When I walked through those doors, I felt like crying. Yet I knew I had to maintain my composure. I skipped all the aisles and went straight to the meat counter, which was conveniently located next to the kitchen. It was difficult to say which of the guys I had heard the night before. I locked my gaze on him, and he locked his on me. Can you tell me what kind of meat you have that is the freshest? I inquired. He indicated the pork. Pork. The more I looked at the pork he pointed to, the more of a human figure it took on. And I believe I saw a few teeth in there as well. I said, I'll take a pound of that. I started preparing the meat as soon as I got home. I sat down after seasoning it. It seemed to be delicious. Human meat, you see, is one of a kind. It's very uncommon. It's delectable. I don't kill people for the sake of eating their flesh. That bothers me, but this was different. I had the job done for me by someone else. Those were the moments when I just wanted to yell and shout because I was so nervous. Still, I had to keep my cool. But, of course, I had to be mindful of that man that night. He's not going to spare me just because I like human meat. But now I have the meat in front of me. I couldn't be more pleased, and I was absolutely right. I'd never be able to live without feeling guilty. The shame of allowing someone else to purchase this rare meat. The guilt of knowing someone else took this away from me. As I chewed my way through the tough beef, I smiled. If you ever find yourself stuck inside a store and a man wearing a bloody apron tells you to follow him, kindly do so. Follow him. I'd like some more beef. If you enjoyed this video, check out our other videos and please click on the subscribe and like button for more spooky and horror stories from us.